Alright, so welcome to Tanks Invest, where we talk about investing, finance, and professional development. For today's items only, the investment I'm going to talk today will be Ethereum TKTH. So this is my second posting as of today. Respect to recording time of 2:29 p.m. on the Eastern Time, Ethereum can trade $3,288, up about 9.45% so far. Respect to overall crypto market is relatively bullish today with respect to obviously the key catalyst that we've mentioned earlier this morning. The key driver is really coming from Jerome Powell on his depiction early last night on Thursday night on the Eastern Time, saying that he has no intention on banning crypto at all, despite obviously the recent volatility that we've been experiencing so far with respect to the China crackdown. Even Christine Lagarde on her pushback, calling some kind of suspicious warning, to even the FOMC meeting on that anticipatory pressure driving some initial buying pressure and subsequently sold off because of the non-confirmatory signal with respect to the tapering timeline, and also with respect to Gary Gensler, who's the SEC chairman for the United States, obviously, on his negative depictions as well, right? Calling it fraud, calling it some sort of illegal activities, if you may. So obviously with all of these, combined with the last mixture of the China crackdown that happened is the most recent time frame, chronologically, gave us a lot of hiccups on oscillations on a sideways fashion for your stomach. It's almost like taking a mental roller coaster ride, if you may. And it seems like today, which is coincidentally on October 1st, on the media front, start to spread the news on Jerome's depictions that no intentions of banning crypto. So, with respect to the surge that we're seeing right now, this is mainly driven by public investors, I would say based on the volume that we're seeing right now. And with respect to the leading effort, is mainly coming from Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are characterized as the stable coins, if you may, in the ecosystem. And that's also leading up, with respect to all the coins as well. And also with selective altcoin like Solana up about 15% right now, XRP up about 8% right now, polkadot up about 11% respectively as well. So on the news front, let's take a look at Ethereum and see what's going on in the last 6 hours so far, ever since my first posting. So with respect to the first one, Bazinga 4 hours ago talked about why Ethereum could see an extraordinary supply shock. So this is something talking about with respect to the imbalance in China right now. So we know that there are a lot of mines, I think collectively about 10,000 mines per the recent article that we saw on CNBC, that the mining has been shut down. So there is a cutoff of circulations of supply that has been cultivated within these mines, right? And when that happens, it drives an imbalance in the ecosystem and subsequently should technically drive some, imbalance with the supply and demand dynamics as well, that should logically increase the price level for Ethereum and other coins that the mines or these mines mine, obviously. So with respect to the next one, on Cointelegraph, on Umbrella Network launches on Ethereum with cross-chain bridge to BSC. So it seems like another network, technology decentralized Oracle service called Umbrella Network officially launched it based on the value proposition of Ethereum. So something we appreciate because of more of the burn rates and also just more corporate utilization. And with that, subsequently should drive more buying pressure from there. And the next one is talking about with respect to basically old news 6 hours ago, talk about Bitcoin surges 10%, leading cryptocurrencies market rally. Right, and this is basically talking about the drag effects that Ethereum and Bitcoin have onto the overall crypto market. And the surge, again, right, just to be regurgitating, is really coming from the Jerome's news on his intention of not banning crypto at all. And he said that very confirmatorily. So, something we appreciate. And that subsequently drive the rally that we're seeing in front of us right now. And then the last one is, I would say today's relatively, not the most active day on the news front. The last one is really coming out from Bazinga 6 hours ago, which is something we already talked about. TikTok will release Ethereum powered NFT with Lil Nas X and Grims and more. So another extensions to their value proposition on TikTok, that they are adopting NFT commercialization as well, which is something we appreciate because it's a pseudo tie to obviously the usage and utilization of Ethereum, right? So let's go back in the technicals. So with respect to Ethereum, it is very bullish right now. You could see that we are forming a golden cross right now, and I think we are crossed despite it's very, very small. But if you zoom in, yeah, we did cross. It's a very, very small cross. And the next level technically will be the 3,350 or 3,325 per the technical analysis. So with the weekend coming, it's mainly going to be driven by the news, right? And people typically take some profit. So for tomorrow, are we going to see some sell-off? Possibly. But if we get above the 3,325, knowing the fact that we did form a cross recently, we could potentially leap up to the 3,472, which is the next level, or the 3,450. Let's just be like more flat number for us. Makes it easier for us, right? However, RSI is at the 53 out of 70, so we know that the 35 is the rule of thumb. 53 is a relatively, high on the echelon, right? So mid-level technically would be somewhere around like the 40s, right? So with the 53 right now, so it's not the best level to buy at the current moment right now. But if you want to buy it now because you want to hold it for a long term, let's say you want to hold it for the next 3 to 5 years, when Ethereum technically should reach $25,000, that's a logical move, right? But if you think about buying it now, and try to sell next week for quick gains, that's not going to be logically sound at all because, like, number one, you're timing the market. Number two, in just like the trends of the corporate adoptions and Ethereum burn rates and utilization, you just cannot logically get there, and that should not translate that into the quantitatives to get to the level that you want to be either, right? There's too many macro and micro elements that you cannot capsulate nor predict, right? Unless you're a wizard. I know I'm not a wizard, so I'm being really realistic with myself. So I think holding long term is always the best and safest, mechanism. Right, but if we break the level that we at right now, we do not get to the next level. The next level coming back to be 3,150, which is a level, to dollar cost average at. And the next level will be 3,000, and then the next level will be 2,750 and 2,650, 2,450 technically, if you go down even further. The levels in between, like the 2,938 and 2,621, these are levels that we hover for a little bit, but these are not considered to be like substantive technical analysis levels, right? So again, 3,150, 3,000 would technically be a flat number because it's a relatively substantial one. So we could kind of encapsulate that as a a substantive level, but it's a flat number, so we shouldn't count that. 2,750 and 2,450, right? So for Bitcoin, we are leaping like crazy right now. You can see the mega green candle mainly coming from the news, right? We did form a golden cross recently. We at the scale of 60 out of 70 right now. So with respect to the next leap up, we should technically go from the current level to the next level to 50K, which is the next level if we actually are able to sustain it. And I think it's logical because we are forming a golden cross right now, but we are leaning more of an overbought level with the 60 on the scale of 70, right? Which technically, if you think about 70, is like very high. So 60, we're at the upper echelon right now. So maybe take some profit is not a bad idea. If you want a short-term trade, if you bought at the the 40,000, but this is not a bad level. To in a risk-reward ratio perspective, I think we potentially have some room to leap up to because we are forming an early preliminary signs of more bullishness to be coming. So Dogecoin, oh, what the hell happened? Excuse me, sorry. For Dogecoin, we are up about 7% right now. So the dip was basically at the 19 cents, 1950 to the 20 cents level. And we're leaping up right now, and we just formed a golden cross. So at the scale with 44, so there's some more room to leap up to. So Dogecoin again is not a bad buy despite the green surge we're seeing right now. But maybe wait until the weekend for us to normalize a little bit, come down to like the 20 cents. But in a risk reward ratio, I think Dogecoin is quite interesting. Cardano, comparable to Ethereum, but we have not merged yet. But I think the bullishness should be coming as we merge. We are not less like overbought in comparisons to other coins, so Cardano is not a bad level, but again, the $2 was the dip. 187 if we break the dip, which is the next leap down, so which is quite substantial. And if we break that, we go into 145, which is even more substantial. So something to be mindful of. Cardano, the spread is relatively more risky, obviously, because it's an altcoin. Solana, we up about 15% right now because it's the popularity contest, and Solana seems like it's being called as the Ethereum killer, or Cardano killer even. So the next leap up we are going to right now, we are basically levitating, so this is not real where we at right now. We have to either go to 168, which is the next level of substantiveness, or we break all-time high again at the 215. But how likely can we get there? Possibly, because we are slowly forming a curvature right now. However, RSI is at the 60, so it kind of net canceled out, so I don't think we actually will be able to get to the 215 again. I think this is short-lived, and then we're going to sell it back down. And if that happens, then this is like an early inning of a head and shoulder pattern that we're forming for Solana. So XRP, we are at the $1, and with respect to the dip that we got earlier a couple of days ago, was with respect to the 88, which was the dip. 93 was the next level of substantiveness, and right now we just form a golden cross, so the next leap up technically should be the $1.10. So would I be buying now? I will probably wait until we cool off a little bit, despite how bullish we are, because I do think we would normalize a little bit and back down to like the 101 first, and then continue to leap up. But the golden cross is forming for multiple different cryptocurrencies at the moment, besides Cardano, which is indicating the other way. So with respect to the market cycle, we are still within the stage that we have been talking about so far, right? Anger and early stage of depression, despite the positive news that Jerome Powell has said. But it's funky because today has multiple different catalysts, right? It's a weekend. The news seems too positive to be true. Also the timing, the sector rotations, option expiry, a lot of macro news that just sounds too coincidental for me. And when that happens, you have to raise your spidey sense. Is that true? Is that really what's happening? Or are we just gonna be trapped by the news? And again, the news on old news that has been curated by somebody to incentivize them to write these articles to be released on a certain date, right? So be mindful of it, and to risk dollar cost average would to be like to buy at the ideal level, right? 3,150 for Ethereum as a substantive level, 2007, 2,450. Do not chase until the 2,450, right? Because that's you being greedy if you wait until that level, right? But long term wise, if you bought at 4,000, let's just say you did that a couple weeks ago, 9,800 in the next 12 months should technically be the logical level based on the technical analysis, and that should be 3 times your money from here. So that's it for my second video for the day. Really appreciate you. I am actually going to get ready for my friend's wedding, which starts at 7, so I'm probably going to get there a little bit early to help out a little bit. But really appreciate you for dropping by, and feel free to give me a shout, and apologies for the scam messages and spam. I'm just like, my inbox gets blown up every single time I post a video. I've been reaching out to YouTube, and it seems like that's not something they know how to fix either. It's been like almost weeks now. So it's unfortunate, and I apologize for the inconvenience, but really appreciate you for your support and love every single day. And stay tuned for the club. Take care.